Welcome back to the series. So far, we've explored the science behind narcolepsy, delved into the human experience of living with the condition, and examined two key sleep-wake fragmentation symptoms: EDS, excessive daytime sleepiness, and DNS, disrupted nighttime sleep. In this fifth video, we're turning our attention to another hallmark of narcolepsy, its connection to dreaming. Like many symptoms of the disease, this element often goes unrecognized in its full scope and complexity. Before we dive into the third core symptom, hypnagogic hallucinations, HH, which also encompasses hypnopompic hallucinations, I want to briefly mention that the next two videos will focus on the body's natural mechanism of muscle atonia during REM sleep. This mechanism plays a significant role in the final two core symptoms of narcolepsy, but also it seems to tie into maybe every symptom as well, in some manner. Now let's take a closer look at HH and what it entails. This symptom, like other core dysfunctional REM symptoms, encompasses far more than any significant occurrence. It highlights a characteristic of narcolepsy, the nearly non-existent barrier between wakefulness and sleep. This blurred boundary brings the abstract phenomena of dreaming while awake or being awake while dreaming to the forefront. The term hypnagogia is defined as, quoting Wikipedia, hypnagogia is the transitional state from wakefulness to sleep, also defined as the waning state of consciousness during the onset of sleep. Its corresponding state is hypnopompia, sleep to wakefulness. Mental phenomena that may occur during this threshold consciousness include hallucinations, lucid dreaming, and sleep paralysis. To simplify, hypnagogic pertains to the transition into REM sleep, while hypnopompic relates to the emergence from REM sleep. The hallucinations referred to in the symptom can be visual, auditory, or both, typically occurring during these transitional states, either as one drifts into sleep or awakens. To further understand the underlying mechanism of HH, it's worth noting the role of brain regions involved in REM sleep regulation. Disruptions in areas like the hypothalamus or REM sleep circuitry can contribute to the blurred boundary between wake and sleep states. This biological insight complements the lived experience of HH, adding another layer to how we frame this complex symptom. As a helpful reference, think back to the faulty light switch analogy discussed in earlier videos. Narcolepsy often involves fragmented transitions between sleep and wake states, a 24-hour experience for many. Some individuals may face constant daytime sleepiness, others may endure frequent nighttime awakenings, and most experience a mix of both. This fragmentation creates a wide range of variability in symptoms, varying not only from person to person, but also for the same individual over time. Hypnagogic hallucinations, like other dysfunctional REM symptoms, are highly variable. They can manifest as a disoriented mix of hallucinations, lucid dreaming, and even sleep paralysis, as outlined in Wikipedia's definition. However, there's far more depth to explore within the symptom. A key goal of the series is to delve into and clarify some of the disconnect or gap between medical and diagnostic perspectives and the lived human experience. By examining both dimensions, I hope to provide a more comprehensive understanding. The overlap between HH and related symptoms, especially sleep paralysis and even elements of EDS, like sleep attacks, is undeniable. These interconnected symptoms will be explored in greater depth in the upcoming videos. For now, let's shed light on some of the ways HH affects individuals. I'll be drawing from my own lived experiences, while acknowledging that some aspects may resonate more fully with others than myself. Let's proceed, and I'll do my best to delve deeper. As I learned more about narcolepsy and the symptom of HH, I came to realize how frequently I'd been experiencing HH throughout my 20s. These episodes often coincided with periods of heightened stress, burdens, or anxiety. Over time, I instinctively taught myself to brush these experiences aside, not to ignore them completely, but to move past them as best I could. To this day, I still view much of what I experience, particularly the hallucinations, as extensions of dreaming. Nightmares and night terrors, which I sometimes find difficult to distinguish, also feel connected to HH. While lucid dreaming fits within the scope of this symptom, I won't focus on that aspect here since HH is primarily defined in medical terms as occurring during the transition into or out of REM sleep. Before truly grasping what HH entailed, I struggled with subtle yet vivid visual hallucinations like strobe lights effects on walls or ceilings upon awakening from intense nightmarish dreams. In some cases, the paralysis I felt in these dreams carried over into awakening as sleep paralysis. Accompanying these visual phenomena were auditory hallucinations, such as faint voices chattering outside, knocks at doors or windows, or even imagined sounds of car accidents with sirens and emergency lights blaring into my room. The pattern repeated often enough that I would question whether these events had actually occurred, only to find no evidence upon investigating. Eventually, the recurring nature of these experiences became somewhat clear to me, and I learned to move past them as best I could, though it was sometimes harder than I'd expect. After gaining a deeper understanding of HH, I experienced a kind of epiphany which helped me contextualize my symptoms. These episodes still arise while I'm under significant stress, whether from looming appointments or interactions that cause anxiety, or from overextending myself physically, mentally, or socially. Stress remains a major trigger for these symptoms. Before expanding on the various ways HH can affect individuals, I want to re-emphasize a key point I've touched on earlier in the series and will continue to. Stresses and anxieties can significantly influence, amplify, and even prolong the core symptoms of narcolepsy. One way that HH affects people is by instilling a fear of their own dreams. For some, this fear extends to anxiety about sleeping itself, which can manifest as parasomnia-like experiences. Nightmares, vivid and surreal dreamscapes, and reality-distorting episodes are common. Recurring themes reported during HH include alien abductions, shadowy gray figures, or the sensation of an intruder in the bedroom or home, illustrating how unsettling and vivid these experiences can be. Interestingly, phenomena tied to HH have long appeared in folklore and cultural narratives. Stories of sleep demons or nighttime intrusions have been reported across different societies, pointing to the universal and often misunderstood nature of these experiences. This cultural lens emphasizes how surreal HH can feel to those who live with it. On a deeper psychological level, HH can blur the line between dream and wake reality. When HH dreams are exceptionally vivid or lucid, they may become indistinguishable from waking memories over time. This phenomenon can lead to confusion and pose significant challenges with implications that vary widely across individuals. The range of possibilities is immense, making it difficult to capture the full scope in one discussion. The emotional toll of HH is also significant. These experiences can feel isolating, as the surreal and often frightening nature of the symptoms may leave individuals reluctant to share fear of being misunderstood. This hesitation can compound stress and anxiety, creating a feedback loop that further amplifies symptoms. HH can also impact daily functioning in subtle but profound ways. For instance, the blurred boundary between sleep and wakefulness can affect memory and decision-making, as individuals may second-guess their recall of events or question their perceptions. This cognitive strain can seep into daily life, making even routine activities feel more challenging. Finally, while HH is most closely associated with narcolepsy, similar phenomena can occur in connection with other sleep disorders, like isolated sleep paralysis or parasomnias. Exploring these broader connections underscores how varied and nuanced these experiences can be. What I can say is that understanding these symptoms deeply helps people better interpret and contextualize their own experiences. By recognizing the boundaries between their waking and sleep realities, individuals can gain greater clarity and insight into what may be unfolding within their own minds. I hope that this video has been engaging and educational, and that the way I'm building and layering the videos in this series highlights the overlap, interplay, and interconnected nature of these symptoms. As we continue, the topics will grow more abstract, but I aim to present them in a way that is clear, insightful, and accessible. I deeply value hearing your thoughts and experiences. They help share the impact and reach of this journey. This series is a reflection of my life's dedication, a blend of my own struggles with narcolepsy and my deep fascination with understanding its complexities. I've spent years contemplating the symptoms, finding connections, and continually piecing together the intricate web that they form. There's still 2 core symptoms to explore: sleep paralysis and cataplexy. I'll be diving into them in the next videos, with a few additional installments to follow as we conclude the series. I also welcome you to share your own thoughts or personal stories related to HH or similar symptoms in the comments below. Your insights help us build a stronger connection and allow for a richer exploration of these topics. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support my work as an advocate and educator, you can find ways to do so in the links below, including becoming a patron at my patreon.com/narcoplexic. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I always appreciate your engagement. Stay tuned for what's next.